Let's have some truth talk. I don't even like the word brand in front of identity. You're trying to make identity sound more important, and it's not your fault entirely. It's because a lot of people start talking about branding and you think they could charge more because they add the word branding. If you don't hire copyright, if you're not doing strategy, positioning, product development, user experience design, customer service design, you, my friend, are not doing branding. You're creating symbols. So a professor at Art Center, he makes this very clear distinction. You're an identity systems designer. Stop adding word branding, pretending you're doing all kinds of stuff. And there are very successful companies that just do identity design. The brand identity people do mushy things. Let's argue. Okay, we did this in Brisbane, and I hurt some feelings. Brace for impact. Brand identity is worthless. It doesn't matter. Prove me wrong.
It matters because it gives you confidence, not your brand.
Brand identity matters because it gives you confidence. Does confidence come from within or without? No, it doesn't. Have you ever heard of other confidence? I've heard of self-confidence. There's the key. The word self is in confident. What happens is if we're insecure, we seek validation. That's even more insecurity from others. It's difference between intrinsic and extrinsic. Confidence comes from within. All right, help me out. What's the next thing? You see right now we're stuck. Ask me a question, a real question.
Why do you find that?
Because I love Apple.
Why do you love Apple?
When I was growing up, Apple became the brand that empowered me to achieve my goals. I use an Apple 512K computer, monochrome, and I used that since I was 20 years old.
And why do you feel that way about Apple?
When I was 19 years old, I learned how to use desktop design and publishing. I had that connection, just like with Adobe. The two things I used in conjunction were Adobe Illustrator and Mac 512K. It allowed me to make a living doing what I loved.
Were you aiming to do an identity for you that made clients feel that way about your business?
No, because I don't love the Apple logo. Like, I don't buy an Apple computer because the Apple logo's on it.
I'm not a brand person, but you mentioned this morning that you spent $5,000 on Louis Vuitton.
Yes.
Now, Louis Vuitton, I'm sorry, it's plain ugly. Why would you buy it?
I don't think it's ugly.
But
Why would you spend something $5,000 and how did you know about that and going into that store without knowing the brand?
I know the brand.
There's an identity with that brand,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You identity yourself.
Yes.
Your trademark is your glasses, your hat. You have a trademark yourself.
Here's the problem, everybody. I'll just tell you, and I'm a unique individual that I love to buy stuff because I want to experiment with things, right? I think the Louis Vuitton logo is horrendous. But from a pure design point of view, the L and the V are the two ugliest letters you can work with. And somehow they're able to make this pattern, this flower pattern that I like a lot. I hate the LV logo, I tolerate it, and I like this pattern. Fendi logo, sorry anybody, I hate it, it's ugly. Two Fs, probably the second ugliest letter in that group. And you just go on and on, the Gucci and the two Gs together, and don't like it. I like Dolce & Gabbana, beautiful D and a G. I don't know anything about their story, I just like that because I'm like some purist designer freakazoid. So if I like it aesthetically, I'll buy it. I have no connection to brand. I have no idea who Louis or Vuitton is. I know it's the same person, just messing around.
So are we saying that brand identity isn't a thing or that you can't sell brand identity?
I'm not saying either. I'm just saying it doesn't matter, prove it to me. I actually believe it. I just think you have weak arguments. That's judging, I'm sorry, that's a violent language. That's so bad. Okay. See, if you can't even reasonably talk to me and I'm part of the tribe and the crew, then what shot do you have with your client? Someone who truly doesn't even care about you.
Going back to the point of saying that flower pattern,
Yes.
I think brand identity matters because that thing, that flower pattern is essentially what people recognize or like. So for instance, I can't work, but when I look at one, I know immediately that's what it's on. For instance, an individual walking with Supreme sweater, I don't think that sweater should cost $300. But I see that text, I recognize that font. To me, that is an indication that this thing is from a particular brand and towards some sort of value.
What are you calling that? We call it recognition. It's the first thing that somebody said that I agree with. And you could also say, I don't want to feed your argument for you, but I'll just help you a little bit. Aesthetics do matter. Okay, you see, like now we're starting to move it away from this hot, emotional thing you got to prove to me. And you could just say, Chris, do aesthetics matter? Do you need a symbol, a monogram, or a combination mark that people can recognize that you feel proud about? I do. Now we're moving somewhere where we can agree. See, you're arguing your point, you're not looking at my point. I even told you what I care about, and you just ignored everything.
You're an Apple fanboy.
I am.
And you said earlier that like Apple makes you feel it empowers you to be a creator.
It did. It does. Yeah.
Why did you feel empowered when you used an intelligent PC like a Dell?
I won't even use it. I won't use it. I tried. My son has a PC. I swear at him all the time. I'm like, your computer doesn't work. This is why. This is stupid. All the keys were designed for Macintosh, and you have to do finger gymnastics to just do what basic thing. I can fly 100 times faster on a Mac keyboard than I can on a PC. Everything works the way it's supposed to. I don't have to figure anything. And he has problems all the time.
How does that make you feel
About what?
about being creative using an Apple as opposed to a Dell?
Feels natural.
So is purpose important in a company's mission statement?
No. I do not even know what Apple's mission statement is. Do you?
Yes, to empower creative. Empower, I think it was like, not.
Feels like they're making us up. Does it feel it? The truth is easy to say, isn't it, Andy? Andy, truth teller. The truth is really easy to say. It's all the lies that are really hard. You may, whoa, when your voice gets all weird. Truth is, I don't know what Apple's purpose is. There are fewer companies you know the purpose of than the ones that you do. So purpose doesn't matter. Nobody walks around like, this is the mission statement of Raleigh Nation. Nobody knows.
When a company has a clear purpose and a clear mission,
Yep.
we find that we might align with it. We're more likely to align with it.
I don't think so. I'll argue the opposite right now just because I'm being argumentative. I find that companies that take action where I can see which aligns with the purpose, then I agree. I could care less what you say. I care all about what you do.
Like you feel, you prefer the aesthetic of Adidas.
And this is the old school, others love this.
Yeah, you love that.
Yeah.
So that makes you feel a certain way.
Aesthetically.
Yeah. And then it'd be the same for somebody else who wears it as like a shell suit in the 90s in England.
I don't even know what that is.
They wear like three striped like shell suit.
Okay. Yeah.
Like it makes them feel a certain way.
Okay.
But they're bringing their identity to the brand.
I don't know what other people do and why they do it. I don't know why we're talking about other people. Why are we talking about other people? Do you know what other people think and do? I don't. I only know what I know and you know what you know.
So in context, this is a conversation with one client who says they don't think branding is important, correct?
I'm telling you right now, brand identity does not matter. Prove me wrong.
Does your brand matter?
It does. My brand does matter a lot.
And what is your brand?
Everything that we do.
What is that?
Product, service, design, customer experience, sales, onboarding, offboarding.
How do you communicate that to your customer?
They experience it.
What about the ones that haven't experienced it?
They're not my customer. My definition of what a customer is.
Do you not want to prospect customers?
I would like as many prospective customers.
So having their market exposure.
That's called marketing. That's not identity.
But what do you market to them with?
Marketing materials. That's why it's called marketing. I don't market with identity.
How are we going to recognize you as your competitor?
Our tone of voice, the messaging, the visuals, the photographic style, our graphic motifs, everything.
It sounds like a brand identity.
No, brand identity is just one very small part. What you do is you make marks and you call it branding, and it's not even branding, and you think you get credit for all this stuff, right? It's just the logo only has value because the company is valuable. If Nike or Converse or Adidas or Apple make crap products, you wouldn't care what. Very few people just buy a logo. Sometimes they do. Like if you buy a sticker, yeah, like I'm buying literally the logo, but because it's connected to an idea. I mean, designers care. They get really upset on design Twitter when somebody changes the logo. I'm like, chill out. Now, I would say I'm such a design snob. I could love a product and the logo's so bad I would not buy it. That's where you could have gotten me.